Ooh, there's one right there. Ooh, that feels like a really good walleye. Don't turn away for long, I'll tell you what. This is one of those bites. Cruising right over the top of a reef right now. Just rolling right over the top of it, pulling cranks. But what's really cool about this is most people think about pulling cranks as a late summer, fall type deal. But this bait I'm pulling today has been designed to be an all-season bait. And here's what I mean. There's no reason that you can't pull crankbaits for walleyes in the spring and in the early summer. I'm gonna just flip that over my shoulder there. And that's the time frame I'm in right now. It's June. I mean, I'm not supposed to be pulling crankbaits for walleyes and catching them when the water's only, ooh, and it's a good fish too. It's a really nice walleye. Not supposed to be able to do this though at this time of the year. But I'll tell you what, walleyes will hit a crankbait. You just gotta give them, oh boy, come here. You just gotta give them the right crankbait. And that's what I'm doing today. I mean, these fish, they're stacked up here on a reef and they'll eat a crank. You just gotta give them the right profile and the right action for this early season and you can still catch them. Look at that. Great walleye right there. Throw him back. Springtime fish. You know, you can catch a lot of those fish right now. Pulling the Lindy rig, you can catch them pulling the spinner. You can catch them doing a lot of things, but on some days like today, when this wind is ripping, these fish will come right up on top of these reefs and you can get them pulling cranks and you can get them a lot faster. You can pick off the most aggressive fish and you're going to catch a lot more fish on days like today if you're willing to pull cranks. But there's a key to it too that I want to show you, and part of it is the crank that I'm pulling. This is a brand new crank from Cotton Cordell. It's called the CC Minnow. And I want to explain this lure to you because it is really cool. Number one is it's a stick bait, and it's a stick bait that's been shortened up a little bit, and that's very, very deliberate. The idea is to get it to be an all-season bait. A lot of the stick baits on the market today are real long and they're real effective and good later in the summer when the bait's getting bigger or when you get into that fall time and the bait's really big. This lure right here though, this CC Minnow, what's great about this is it's a 4-inch long bait that can work at any time of the year. There's bait that's this size right now that these fish are eating. So ultimately, it's got the right profile. Next thing is, it's got a really high pitch rattle. You can hear that rattle, super high pitch. Walleyes love that. But then the big thing about this bait that's different than any other bait out there is the lip on it. And I want to show you what it is and why. This is the deep diving version. This is the CO7D. It also comes in a CO7S, which is shallow. The shallow's going to dive 6 to 8. The deep's going to dive 12 to 14. But if you look at the front end of this bait, there's 2 little dimples up here. What those dimples do in that lip is give you a little added extra action. It gives you a little bit of extra roll. And I'll tell you what, it's just deadly. It makes it an all-season bait. It's got an awesome action. It's got the perfect size, comes in a variety of colors, and it comes in a shallow and a deep. Now you can long line it like I'm doing today. I'm running this deep one. I'm running this down about 12 feet and I'm running right over the top of this reef. Or you can run these things on lead core. They're deadly on lead core as well. So all said and done, awesome bait, brand new one. You don't got a bunch of them in your tackle box. Some of you might because they did come out a little bit early last year and some of you are already catching fish on them. But if you don't have any of these Cotton Cordell minnows in your tackle box, look for them at your favorite retailer. They're an awesome bait. I mean, just day in and day out, I'm catching walleyes on them. And I'll tell you, it's just a fun bait to fish because it does it all and it catches them year round.